We on?
You on, brother?
Word.
How you been, man?
I just seen you 20 minutes ago, bro.
We ain't see it, yeah, but we ain't get to talk.
I hear you.
We was busy.
Was there early. That hoodie fire, though.
Huh? Oh,
So
yeah.
hoodie fire.
Yeah,
Fire. We'll get some headgear for it. Damn, it didn't come through on Facebook yet.
On my page.
Oh, here we go. Come through on Facebook. Word. Go ahead, lead them in. Do all the little other stuff so we can get these shares out. Out. I said, put the countdown on. Run the video.
All right. We going, y'all. We got everybody. Give us about a minute.
I met a boy today.
That's me.
So fine.
If you know, tap in, share the post. It's your boy PH, aka The Press, aka Mr. Above 140.
Come to my town and get with me. She love I'm around.
It's not about the amount of talent you have. It's 100% about the work ethic. Ask your coach or anybody that's been doing this.
I met a boy today. So fine.
Why is it? And they gonna say, oh, yeah, that's illegal. Cut this. Cut it out. All you coaches out there, cut it out. Because that's BS.
It's your boy PH, the Prez, Mr. Above 140. It's the Black Excellence. We are back. We are here. I don't know what y'all talking about, but talk about the Hurricanes 12U. Good win. Good win on this past weekend. We got some rankings coming. I'm a little slow. I'm coming along.
We off our square right now. We definitely off our square. But it's your boy Coach Career, the General. We coming at you another Wednesday night. We about to start it off hot. You should hit them with the topic that we talked about. There's, a whole bunch of people gonna get emotional.
Right. So before we even start that,
they're gonna get emotional.
I think, listen. First thing I want to say is this, y'all. And what up, James? What's good, Wes? What up, Wes? Nate tapping in.
What's up, fellas? What up?
Niche, yes, your quarterback for the 8U. We got you. All right. Everybody out there, let me say something to y'all.
What up,
me and Tito talked about this. If what we're saying tonight, you start to take it personal, it's probably because you're one of the people that we're talking about. And so we're only going to bring up issues that we think the masses want to talk about. All right, Tito, let me say something. Coaches are held to a different standard, right? I'm talking about us in the community, right? I want everybody out there to listen to me clearly.
Peace, Trev. All praises.
Trev, what up? We claim to teach life skills. We all say that. Want to teach life skills to the kids. There's one thing, though, Tito, that I wanted to say before we start the show. And it's to the parents out there. It's to y'all. Y'all going to get emotional. I don't really give a damn. Tito, why is it that we're asked in the youth football community that if a kid decide, I don't want to play for you anymore, Tito. I don't want to play for your program anymore. I'm going to pack up, and the parent decides to take him somewhere else. why is it incumbent upon Tito to, if the kid want to come back and chill on your sideline, Tito, you let him. If the kid decide he wants to come and hang around your team on the days he don't got practice, you got to let him. And if you don't do that, Tito, you're considered a hater or you don't care about kids. I beg to differ to all of you people out there. Because if we're really teaching these kids life skills, when a parent or a child makes the decision to leave a program, that program should do what life would teach you to do. Tito cannot quit his job, then go to his job's Christmas party and say, I deserve to get into the job or you're a hater.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be there.
Tito do not get to quit his girl, go find a new girl, and then go back to the house, say, I'm hungry. If you don't feed me, you're a hater. If we're teaching them life skills in college, when a kid decide to leave Alabama and go to Georgia, he can't then go chill on Alabama's sideline because Alabama in the national championship and his season is over. It's not how it works, Tito. And I'm speaking up for all the coaches because this was a topic that was brought up. Me and you talked about it earlier. It was brought to us. It's true that they asked a few football coaches, and y'all lie out there, y'all coaches, and I'm going to tell the parents the truth. Coaches do feel some type of way when y'all leave, and they have a right to feel some type of way. That's the problem, parents. Y'all don't think that coaches or programs have a right to feel some type of way, and the truth is they does, because there's no loyalty in youth football. And when any situation when somebody's unloyal, or at least you feel they're unloyal, not that they are, follow me, perception is reality. In any situation where somebody feels they're being, that the other person's being unloyal, when do you ask that person to act the same? Would y'all tell your children that? Your boyfriend, your husband, your etc. is unloyal, but you remain the same person, or else you're a hater. Tito, I'll turn it over to you. I think we're asking the youth football.
Listen, we just going to keep it real. I mean, you got to keep it 100% real. Once you bounce, like, listen, I don't hold nobody. I don't try to keep nobody with me. But once you leave, you're gone. It's like when I break up with a girl, there's no turning back. You get what I'm saying? You're gone. You're where you're at now. And then listen, I don't wish no ill will upon you. But you could no longer be where I'm at, stand where I'm at. And we're not all going to say, oh, it's all about the kids, which is the most overused term in youth football. But when you move on, I move on too. And that's just how life is. It's not personal. It's not malicious. It's nothing. And a lot of the times it's not the kid's fault. Now it's between me and the parent. And once you do that, listen, I'm an adult just like you're an adult. I have a choice to make. And my choice is, when you think pastures are greener somewhere else, is I no longer fuck with you, period. You know what I'm saying? Because more than likely, I've already put a huge investment into your child. And then now this, at that point, this the price of doing business. You know what I'm saying? You no longer get to use me as a reference, or you no longer get to, the shit's over between me and you too. And it's not personal. You chose what you chose, and I'm going to choose what I'm going to choose.
But that's the problem right there. It's always looked as if the coach is being personal. They're not being personal.
I don't believe it.
Like, stop taking it. And look, I'm tired of parents wanting football coaches to teach their kids life skills only when it's convenient life skills. Yeah. It's not. If Phil decided to go to another college and leave my college right now, I do not get to come back to this college and ask that they treat me the same way as if when I was an employee. That's just not how life works.
I don't get to go to a job. I don't get to go leave my job, go to another job for 3 weeks, then beg to come back, and they're supposed to just take me back with open arms. It's not how it works. Right. Life's about choices. Life's about choices.
And this is me and Tito defending our whole community for a second. We are always asked, now if Tito ain't liking the kids' posts, Tito's a hater.
First of all, I don't I want to be clear.
Hope that he score touchdowns with his other team, because if he don't, oh, they hating on my son. No, they're not hating on your son. They just don't give a damn anymore, because the investment, you have decided you wanted a different investment company for your money. Stop asking the old investment company to worry about how much money you're making off of your stocks. It's not their job anymore. You went to Chase Bank, then stop calling TD Bank to find out, yo, why y'all not looking out for me no more? Why your investors ain't making money straight? Because you went to Chase.
Right. Here's the truth.
Money out. You made a withdrawal. You went to Chase for your investments. Let Chase worry about your investments now. It sound messed up, but we have to understand coaches got feelings and emotions and everything. And when they pour into a kid, and just like that, they snatched and go somewhere else. Parents, stop bringing your kids to other people's fields and expecting the same love. You're not entitled to that. I'm sorry if it makes you emotional. You are not entitled to ask somebody who you've been disloyal to remain loyal to you. Go ahead.
No, it don't work like that. And it's not our job to cheerlead for you now. I know there's people going to think we're personally talking about them, but we're not. We're speaking holistically. This was something that was brought up to us, which is
we can't stop people from feeling a certain way.
Right.
They want to
it's a huge conversation. But the reality of the matter is some of us are from places where there's very little cheerleading going on. So if I don't like your post, or if I don't like your, or you know, I first of all, I don't do emojis. Like I don't. And the only things I usually recognize, if there's mutual respect between us, is your birthday. If somebody passes that we all know that's within the 6 degrees of separation of your network, your kid's birthday, things to me that matter. I don't go searching through people's posts to see what ex-players are doing. Once you move on, you move on. I've moved on too. It's no longer my job to cheerlead for you. And to teach boys man, this is a problem in the coaching community. Everybody's looking for somebody to cheer for them. Everybody's looking for somebody to cheer. Well, I grew up with an alpha male where there was very little cheerleading going on the way I grew up. Just very little cheerleading. So I'm sorry if I don't like your posts. You are Gil, 100%. 100%. Once you step out the circle, we are no longer family. I have no more loyalty to you. And it's not personal. You made a choice for you and your kid after we all poured investment into them. You did what you did. Now it is what it is. That means no daps, no highs when we see each other, nothing. It's not beef, though. It's just, yo, you see me coming, you handle how you going to handle it. Me, I'm probably going to keep it moving. More than likely. I'm going to keep it moving. Not saying what up, not making eye contact, nothing. Once I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you no more for life. End of story.
And again, we have to understand that if you start to understand the dynamics of football and what it takes to be at the next level, high school, prep, college, football family is a thing for real. It's a thing. And if Gil is teaching this kid life skills, then mom don't get to say, Gil, we're leaving you and going to the Bridgeport Huskies. But now we don't got practice and Gil got a game. My child don't get to go stand on Gil's sideline and mingle with Gil players. No. He don't get to do that. And when Gil say, yo, get on the sideline, you no longer have the right. It's not disrespectful to that kid. It's teaching the mom and the child something. You've made a decision to remove yourself from this football family. Remove yourself. Because everything else in life, when you do that, you will be removed. And so that's important.
It's not personal. It's not. And if you
I don't understand.
Right. No, guys. See, LJ, you gonna have to stand on this one. It's not personal, dog. LJ. It's not personal.
The problem, LJ, is if something personal, for instance, LJ, if I think you're a bad coach, that's not personal. I don't like you, I don't think you're a good coach. That's not personal. Personal is I think you're a bad coach because you I don't know, I think you're a bad father, or because I seen you beat your child and you hurt me, LJ.
If I'm calling you things outside your name. If I'm calling you things outside your name, it's personal. It's not personal. But if I don't, when you move on and I decide not to mess with you no more, That ain't that you made a choice. I made a choice. It ain't personal.
Right.
It don't gotta be a thing. It don't gotta be a thing.
And if a woman cheat on you and you decide to leave and get another girlfriend and not speak to her when you see her, that doesn't make it personal. That's not personal. Personal is when you do something, in my opinion, to harm the child.
Right. Well, malicious.
You're not harming the child, LJ. You're not harming the family. You're saying, listen, you do not get to come stand on my sideline, be around my players at practice. Yeah. Now, LJ, you have every right to go and say hi to the kid when you walk by him. That's your right. You have every right to allow the kid.
And I always do that. Hold on. We're not saying we're doing that.
Within the realm of the football youth family, you're no longer that. If you're outside of football, y'all could be fam. But in the football realm, we're talking about youth football, LJ, not life. In the youth football realm, you're no longer youth football family. And you have to accept that. Or if you don't like it, LJ, don't make the decision. It's just my opinion.
Listen, I always honor the kid. But your parents, your parents
opinions are not facts. Okay, Tommy. Thank you for the knowledgeable comment. I don't even understand what's the purpose. This is my opinion.
Right.
Nobody said it.
Whatever. But either way, whether it's a fact or not, we're not talking about nobody stop talking.
That's the honest. You're not talking about kids. Not talking
Here comes the emotions of it.
No,
here comes the emotions.
What we're talking about
coaches. When you decide to take your kid,
right? Kids can still be friends outside of football, though. You don't get to leave my 9U team, go to East Hartford 9U team, and then tell me on game day I have to let that 9-year-old come chill and be friends with my 9-year-old on game day while we're playing the game. Absolutely not. And I don't care how anybody feel like that, because that's whack. The problem is we're thinking with emotion and not with, see, now we don't want to teach them life skills because the skill is tough. The skill is tough. That's a tough thing that we got to swallow in life. When we do it, it's tough for us to swallow as adults that I don't get to leave that job, but when they had a Christmas party that's popping at the Hartford Civic Center, I don't get to go no more. I'm sorry, but now look, after the game, my kids and them could play. I ain't saying, yo, stay away from home, don't like them. Yeah, I'm not being corny like that.
We just say you can't come on the sideline. Like, you are no longer to be part of this unit. And
fellas, go ahead. In youth football, every decision that a parent make is taking it out on the child. Y'all have to understand that. We had segments on this. Stop acting like parental decisions do not affect children. Every parent decision
for decades. It's been going on for thousands of years.
Sorry to tell y'all that. Maybe to some.
Listen,
I guess maybe.
Hey, listen. If you have a conversation, right? If you have a conversation, if y'all have a conversation and it's just not working out, it's just not working out. But once you go, you go. You made a choice. We're allowed as coaches to make our choice. And nobody said we won't speak to the kid or parent. Nobody said that. We're talking about when the team that he left is having a game or a function. It's just you're no longer allowed to come on the sideline. And you can't take it personal. Somebody tells you, no, you're no longer part of the team. You don't have a right to feel some type of way. You took your kid and left that family and went to, you pulled them out of that situation.
Shamir gets it. Congratulations. We got one. Shamir, 100%. You got to stand on the decisions you making.
Hey.
And you got to stand on it. You decided to leave that football family, then stay away from the football family.
Right.
Go to regular family at the cookout. But the football family that you left, you're not a part of no more.
Right.
I'm sorry.
You don't get to come on the sideline. You don't get to walk out the tunnel with them. You don't get to You don't get to
they don't need to like they water boy.
You don't get to show up at the championship.
Nope.
You don't get to show up at the banquet at the end of the year and come get a coat or a hoodie. You don't get to do that.
You are outside, and it's okay. That's what you wanted. You don't get to be a part of two families. Come on, I mean, you can't do that nowhere else. This ain't what is it called? When you have two wives, what is it called? It's not a polygamy relationship.
Right.
You can't be a part of both families. You chose to be a part of this family. Right. And you feel some type of way when this family don't invite you no more because you left this family. Yeah, that's weird energy to me. And we and all the coaches out there, maybe they're not going to share it. They're not going to say it. So the reason we're saying it, because we know the attacks is going to come at us. We know we're going to be looked at as mean, disrespectful, downright mad, y'all haters, or we understand it, but I'm okay and Tito's okay with telling y'all the truth of how we feel, because coaches really do feel like that. Coaches really do. But it's cool for coaches to say, I don't got no problem. I still support him. I still go to his games. They got a problem with it. We talk. They all got a problem with it. They just don't want to tell y'all they got a problem with it. That's the truth. They don't want to tell y'all they got a problem with it.
We already gave this topic too much time.
All right. Yeah, but it was a good topic, but
you're true, Sebby. It's true what Kebby's saying. It's like a divorce. You don't get to go to your ex-in-laws for Thanksgiving or the Christmas party or the summer cookout, swim, pool day on Sunday with the family. It's weird energy.
And listen, we have to accept that that's where it's at. When you decide to do that, that's where it's at. But Tito, let's move on. Now, my next one is going to be a little emotional for some, but we have to dig into this because I think it's important. Also, we're about to help out the parents. Now, we talked about the parents, but now let's help them out. You ready, Tito? Here we go. Parents out there. Parents that's in the stands, that's watching other people play. I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help. Tito, let's help the community raise the bar. Parents, so let me tell you a story, Tito. I'm not going to say no names. So a weekend that happened in league.
2 weeks ago. Just
had a parent a couple weeks. When, at some point in football, you had a parent decide to say that parents are ghetto. And I turned to her and I said, listen, that right there starts a lot of women fights right there. I need y'all to understand something. Women out there, you got to stop calling people ghetto. Because, first of all, I got to rip the scab off. I got to say this. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not trying to go there, Tito. I got to say this. When you're from a suburban town, and you go into a predominantly minority or inner city town, when you start saying y'all ghetto, there's a certain connotation that's heard when that's being said. There's a certain stigma that people feel like
it's a trigger.
Even when you're trying, even if you're going to claim you don't mean it. And I'm here to help everybody out. Stop saying you're ghetto. When y'all don't know what ghetto is other than it's different than me, so it has to be ghetto. They don't cheer like me, so they're ghetto. They're saying words I wouldn't say at a football game, so they're ghetto. Now, here's the weirdest part about this, Tito. This is the weirdest part. The lady that stated, y'all ghetto, organization was fighting at the field. And I turned to her and I said, ma'am, what y'all doing right now could be considered ghetto.
Right.
And she
coaches,
said,
right?
Yeah,
the coaches was fighting each other.
The program. This is the pro. They was fighting. They were trying to fight each other. And Tito, the truth is, she said to me, she's like, yeah, you're right, but we're not ghetto. So I want you to think about that. We're acting ghetto. but you guys are actually ghetto. I tried to explain to this lady. I wasn't going to attack the lady or nothing. But we have to start talking to these women because I'm going to tell you, as men, the hardest thing to do is stop y'all women from going at it. We can't touch y'all. We can't really
bro. I see it happen and I walk away.
We can't put our hands on y'all. Like, it's weird for a man to be in the midst of a woman fight, right?
I'm never getting in the middle of a cat fight, ever.
We don't stop calling people ghetto. Stop name calling. You stigmatize a program. Let's take a Hartford, a Bloomfield, who else got a lot of teams? A Waterbury. You play one team, and I look at the president of a program and I go, y'all parents are ghetto. I just want you to know that. So if you got 7 teams and y'all don't like one, all other 6, 200 plus kids and parents are ghetto? And what do you think happens when parents are sitting there going, who you talking to, B? I ain't ghetto. Now the fight starts. Then they go, see? Now they ghetto. You don't get to trigger somebody and then try to control their response. I'm asking everybody out there to kindly stop calling people ghetto. Women, stop going in to places and calling people ghetto. It's going to start a fight. It's going to start a fight. When you're calling people ghetto, it's going to start a fight. Refrain from that stuff because we do not get the control when those parents hear stuff like that and they pop off. And now we look like the ones that were fighting because you triggered this parent by name calling her and you go, no, I don't mean it like that. The problem is, don't nobody know how you mean it. I just had to have that drop thing, Tito, because the truth is, it was bothering me that she made that statement, and then when I tried to explain to her, ma'am, you're going to start something if you keep saying that in the presence of the people you're around. And she was like, no, I'm saying because they was mad ghetto the way they was cheering, blah, blah, blah. And luckily about 2 minutes later, Tito, a bunch of parents like, yo, where's the lady that called that said we're ghetto? She was gone. It wouldn't have been a good day for her. Stop calling people ghetto. Next subject, Tito. I'm going to turn this over to you. Is the youth football platform a place for kids' self-expression with antics?
Absolutely not. I don't believe so. I think it's the wrong place to set that precedent. That's not what we're supposed to be teaching them. We're not supposed to be teaching them to do these crazy dances and try to, how you say it the right way, trigger the other, like throwing it in their face. Some of these dances they're doing and stuff, like if it was anywhere else, it would lead to fights amongst men, forget children. And for kids to do it to coaches and all of that, football is not the place for you to teach your kids to use their self-expression artistically. No, we're supposed to be teaching them how to be part of a team, develop some football skills, learn how to work with other people, be respectful gentlemen. At least that's how we carry. You know what I mean? This ain't the place for you to be dancing and trying to humiliate the other team and coaches. That's the wrong message to be sending. And if you're a coach that thinks it's a good idea, you're part of the problem. You need to be out of here too. Because it's just,
so let me say this right, you know. I'm gonna ask the question. Are you saying that if I beat you, I shouldn't be able to run and stick a fork in your field or
Absolutely
hit the hammer
not.
or run
That's
up and down with my flag?
Nah, because when you do that,
and all of that,
when you do that, you just talked about it in the last segment. You're no longer allowed to dictate what the reaction is going to be.
That is true. I'm not saying
you're no longer allowed to dictate the reaction. You're not. So when you do that, like
Nate, you say trend. Fill me in, Nate. Are you saying it should be okay because that's the new style? Talk to me.
No.
You're a younger man.
No, but no. It's not. It's not what's I believe it's not what we're supposed to be teaching these kids. It's not what we're supposed to be teaching them. First of all, if they're older in middle school or so, you know, and if they're looking to try to go to prep schools, or if they're looking to try to, you know, go to a higher caliber school, coaches look at that, and they're gonna be, you know, it will not be smiled upon. It will be frowned upon. A real coach is not going to tolerate that. The problem is.
So I'm trying to figure out the line. Let's go back.
Part of the problem is we have coaches, but to believe it's good for the sport, and it's not. It has hurt the sport. How many games have been affected with the taunting, end up in fights, disputes, and not get played out in entirety? We've seen it happen many times because the problem is some people don't know how to take those antics and tactics. Some people can't take it. They're not adults. They're still teenage minds. They still got a lot of emotions going through them. It's crazy right now. You know that 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old age bracket, kids go through all sorts of shit, and they all don't develop the same, and they're all not going to take it the same way. Somebody's going to take it somewhere it don't need to belong, and then it affects the game, and then it affects our culture, and it affects everything else. So that's not what we're supposed to be doing, coaches. We're not supposed to be teaching them how to do dances. You're not supposed to be on the sideline jumping with your kids and fucking chest bumping them. No, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. It's not. It's corny. It's corny, and it shows you're an emotional, feminine type person because that's what people that are looking for attention do. Men don't act that way.
How is that different from bringing belts?
That's not. We're not co-signing that. That's all bad for the culture. It's all bad for the culture. The turnover chain was a bad idea. It's all bad for the culture.
It's only not acceptable in
No, that's not true, bro. Like I said, you don't see that stuff going on in high school football. You don't see that stuff going on in college football, NFL. You don't see none of that stuff going on. That stuff was created over there in the flag and 7-on-7 world, and it has crossed over here, and it's not good for our space.
Stepping over a kid, excessive taunting, storming the field, and waving at fans is
too much.
Fans, that's too much. The problem is, Trev, I think Tito going even further than that. Tito saying, show up, stretch, you know, be loud on your numbers system, 1, 2, 3, play football.
Whatever.
He's saying
football.
You don't need to run on the field with the flag. You don't need to pop the smoke and walk onto the field.
Yeah, that shit is corny. That ain't about the kids at that point. That's the adults. That is not about the kids at that point no more. That's look at me. Look what I'm doing. No, we know, Kevin. I know.
You think it's subjective. Some of these kids see their
subjective. They're not their favorite players. They're not Division I. They're not on TV. So it's not subjective. That's not what we should be teaching. It's not what we should be teaching.
If there's somebody that believes it should be okay that would like to come on live right now and discuss it, please inbox me. I'd like to bring you on and have a discussion. All right, so Tito, along with this, Michigan has the turnover buff.
We're not Michigan. We're not. Listen, we're not. That's not what we're doing.
You're comparing Michigan to the New Haven Steelers. That's a whole different.
This is a whole different animal, man. There's a lot of money. There's no. Listen,
kids are having fun.
We know this weekend alone. That stuff costs. We know this weekend alone. I
get called that already.
That's okay. I'll be old school. I'll be old school. I know this last weekend there was a very good game that didn't get finished because of the stupidity that I'm just talking about. So, is that worth it at that point? Because you know the game ain't getting made up.
It is true. Teams take on the personality of the head coach. That was just a reference to the fact you mentioned colleges don't do it. Oh, he was saying colleges do it.
Hey, you ain't got to agree with me. I'm not looking for nobody to agree with me. Do I ever look for anybody to agree with me? There's no place for it here. You guys can take that shit how you want. That's not what we're supposed to be teaching kids. It's not.
That's
you can't
not
do that
having
shit
control over your team.
They cannot go do that, bro. Where could they do that at? You can't go to your job and do that. Can you? You're not allowed to have
Tony
self-expression.
Moody said, we do our talking with our play. We don't trash talk. We don't disrespect our opponents or the referees.
Thank you. It's the Army. It's absolutely the Army. Football is war.
So I think
Ain't no place for it. You won't see my teams doing it.
See this different.
You won't see my teams doing it ever.
I'm not personally one that hoot and hollers. Like, I don't do the 2 hands, 2 pads, knock about these boots. Like,
I don't even let my kids talk.
I personally don't do that. It's never been in me to do. Like, I don't really
let my
like
kids
doing
talk
it,
during
right?
walkthrough.
So to me, I'm at a double because I agree that it's ruining the game of youth football. Now, a lot of you out there don't know that it's ruining the game because y'all don't know the tough times that we're in youth football. Most of y'all out there commenting, y'all show up, y'all see a game, y'all see the kids play, and y'all go home. Y'all don't know that there's a struggle for games. Or there's a scarcity of referees that want to do football because of these antics. Or
especially in the city.
That
especially
70% of the teams in Connecticut don't want to play Pop Warner or AYF. We're X'd out because of those antics. Partly because of that. And I'm telling you what those presidents said to me personally. You don't got to like it. You can say they scared. You can call them any name you want. Guess what? They don't really give a damn what you think. Because they ain't got to play your kids. That's going to come out with the flag and the stakes and all of this. Now, I ain't saying I'm completely against it. I'm just telling you what's been told by me from presidents and small leagues. I was about to say the name of the leagues, but I don't want to do that. From presidents and small leagues that don't play us. I'm just going to be honest.
I'm not saying your kids shouldn't celebrate each other. But what I'm saying is you shouldn't be taunting the other team. There's 2 different things. I'm not saying that your team shouldn't be celebrated or they should celebrate each other or big each other up. What I'm saying is when you're taunting the other team, taunting the other coaches and the other fans, there's no place for that. There's no place for that.
You're saying we shouldn't be teaching the kids, but it's the adults who have and cause the problem. Sometimes it's the kids because I think Gil just said it best. The kids take on the personality of the adult head coach. And so that is what starts to cause it. I think that was earlier. We have to do better as coaches and teach sportsmanship. We don't even allow parents to be talking wild on social media. It's not allowed.
You shouldn't. There should be a clause. And I thought I brought this up. I think people need to look into in your coach's code of conduct. You need to put the social media muzzle on parents. And if they do it, that gives you an out to remove them and their child from your program.
If I see it at an NFL game and my kids are into it, I'm going to make it happen. NFL celebrate, college celebrate.
Well, this ain't the NFL. This ain't college. This ain't high school. This is develop. It's supposed to be developmental. We know it's not, but it's supposed to be developmental.
Gil said those celebrations y'all see in college are done on their own sideline.
Right. They're not going halfway across the field doing all the dumb shit.
"12U's militant. Coach Larry Myers don't talk. He celebrate with the score. Love him to death." That's how it's supposed to be done. I think that's what he's saying. It's a new generation, old heads. I'm going to bed. Listen, Des, Tiani, I get it. I get it that we consider old. But the truth of the matter is, again, it causes a lot of problems. It really does. I'm sorry to tell you, y'all don't. Which gets me to something that I did that I regret. But now I gotta talk about it because now as an administrator, I had to deal with this all last week and it gave me a headache. The belt to A tag, it got out of control. I put it on our flyer. I wish I had not. I'm going to be a hypocrite for a minute. I will not release another flyer with it. It is way too much. I got calls from people in the league because people were beating other people's, and the whole crowd decided to scream BTA, BTA to the other sideline. That's when I got the call, and when I heard it, I said, okay, you know what? Maybe that's now getting out of control. It's sad. Now, am I being too, what's the word? Am I being too soft about the situation? I'm an administrator. A lot of y'all not. From an admin perspective, it starts to wear down on you. That's all I'm saying.
Hold on. But let's think about this. It's in our culture, when it's two cultural teams playing each other, there's no teams to use because we know everybody, so people are going to think it's personal. But let's just say when Brooklyn plays the Bronx, okay? When Brooklyn plays the Bronx, you can't say to the Bronx folks, BTA, and then expect there to be no repercussions or recourse. You know how this is going to go. So therefore, at that point, is this what we're supposed to be doing? Is this what we're supposed to be teaching our kids? This is what I'm saying. Because at that point, it went too far. It went too far. And when kids are doing it to the other staff and other team, it went too far. You're no longer allowed to dictate what the reaction is going to be. Whatever it's going to be is going to be. And it could have been avoided if you just kept it professional from the beginning.
Be clear, we are not talking about celebrating your team. When you score, your kids absolutely should be running down the sideline cheering.
Celebrating, bigging them up. Your team. Your team. You ain't supposed to be going to the other coach doing the, you know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to be doing all that crazy stuff that we be doing. You want to do it amongst your teammates, fine. That's not a problem. But going doing that over there or doing that stupid dance where they waving their hands in front of their Johnson, like, nah, it's not supposed to happen. It's not the way it's supposed to be. I'm sorry. You guys call me old, call me antiquated, outdated. It's not the way it's supposed to be.
Yes, I very much did it. I am not saying I didn't do it. See,
I've never done anything. Yo, you guys can shoot at him all you want. I've never done. Phil noticed over 20 years you know me. Have you seen any of my teams do anything but act Army like walking into a stadium?
No, I have allowed. So, Trevor, let's correct your statement a little bit because your statement is false. But I think I know what you're getting at. I think you mean you have seen Hurricane teams do it 100%. You have not seen me walk ever anywhere with a mask. You have not seen me walk ever anywhere with smoke in my hand. You have not seen me walk anywhere ever do any of that. I have allowed my players and my teams to do it, though I personally didn't do it because that is what they wanted to do. When it has gotten disrespectful, I've had to step in. For example, I had a team running the stadium one time, one of my teams, and I argued with my coach about this. Run across the field and run down the sideline in my opponent's face. We got a 15-yard penalty. I allowed my team to come on with all of that. I didn't allow them to do that. So with me, it's always been a thin line where I personally didn't do it, but I personally didn't stop anybody in my program from doing it. Now, when it's a friendly fire, it's fun to me. I'll give an example. I told you about the time Rick was 0-8, 0-7. He came on the field at West Haven and rode the basketball across the field. Or when Jay Wright
was coaching. That's what I was coaching.
Up in West Haven. You know when it's done out of friendly fire. And we're talking about when Brooklyn and the Bronx is playing and you know it's not friendly fire. So, yes, my teams have done it, but Trevor, not Phil. That's definitely not true. Flag was planted at our 50 this week. We just lined up and proved why they shouldn't have done that. Respect the game of your opponent is not the answers that spill over. A flag, they put a stake in our field this week too. We didn't get to get them back, but there's more football to come as long as those fellas don't retire. Trust me, I'll make sure that they get their 50 piece. If my parents mouth off to the refs, the opponents, or even a kid during the game, I will remove the kid from the game. I tell my parents that in my team meetings, refs love me and my kids because we're respectful of our play, teaching them how to be young men in wins and losses. I think one of the parents mentioned that and said there's a clear difference between taunting and celebrating. Yeah, but what I think the problem is some of you guys are adding celebrations and it's really taunting. Or at least that's what the perception is, right? Like I think Trev said he got no problem with running in with smoke and flags, etc. Tito saying no, that's too much. So
Too much.
everybody got their own line. There's no right or wrong, y'all. There's no
I've
right
said
or wrong.
clearly, if your
Discussion,
team,
right? It's a
if your
podcast.
team is celebrating each other, I don't have a problem with that. If you are celebrating your team and whatever just happened and bigging your team up, that's not a problem. But if you're taking the ball, throwing it at the other team, then going up the sideline, doing that stupid dance and all of that to the other team fans and coaches, that's not what we're supposed to be doing here. That's not what we're supposed to be doing here.
Trev said we got to be humble to wisdom from OGs. Trev, that trend is gone, even in the streets. Ain't no OGs no more. Once they disagree with us, we're old. We're old. We the game. We've been in the game too long, and we need to let them do what they're doing. Though they're not the ones controlling the games, we are, and we're just supposed to go out and find them games to play. And when everybody in the state say we no longer want to play them, please find us some games. It's dirty.
Yeah.
They just
they call begging. Oh, then nobody wants no smoke. No, nobody wants to play you and then be plastered all over social media with all the dumb shit y'all be doing. But then it's our fault when you can't get games.
So
It's
Shatia,
our fault
we
when
not
you can't
blending
get
them
games.
together. Let me explain. I'm gonna explain what we're talking about, and then everybody can disagree. We're saying if you come on the field, you walk in militant, you stretch, you play the game, your team score, you run down, your kid come on the sideline, y'all hugging, or he get an interception, and y'all run over, and y'all on y'all sideline celebrating each other, even if he got a turnover chain, no problem. What we're saying is when you think you need to come into, Derby with your boombox loud as it can be, and you pull out the tab and you smoke up their field, and you got the chain over one of your kids' necks, and the other one got a big donut around his neck, and y'all clapping in their face like, yeah, y'all about to get it. What Tito's saying is some of y'all may feel like that's just celebrating. That's still too far. And that is causing conflict. Now, it's factual that stuff is causing conflicts. That's not debatable. I'm telling you, I spoke to presidents in other leagues that told me they won't play Pop Warner AYF because of those conflicts. So that's not debatable. The debating part is, and I guess perception, there's no right or wrong, is that stuff considered too much? I think a flag is okay, carrying it with the team, leaving it on your sideline, but the smoke and the music and the yelling is too much. I'm a nurse, and burning a smoke stick is effing dangerous. Tell him, Kenny. That's crazy. She like BTA. Well, you get to say it, Niche.
Yeah, you get to celebrate. You get to celebrate your team. You get to celebrate your team's accomplishments respectfully.
Old heads understand repercussions.
Thank you, Damon.
Repercussions to your
actions.
Put
that up there again. People up there again, because people, again, put that up there again. People, when you do something, you do taunting or tactic, or you offend people, you no longer have the right to dictate how the repercussions happen. Those of us trying to avoid it know better. But if you guys think it's a good idea, continue to act like that. When you got nobody to play, don't call me crying. We know there's a bunch of teams over the next month that won't be playing football. So, and we're trying for the people we love. But good luck. Keep acting like idiots. Go ahead. It's exactly what everybody wants you to do. Keep doing it. It's a great idea.
F around and be a shooter over some yapping. It's Pee Wee football. Some of the parents and coaches have to step back and stop living their dreams through their kids.
Part of the problem is, Ephraim.
Matt, what up?
What up, Matt? Part of the problem is, Ephraim, not everybody's part of that 5% that me and you
Nisha definitely go to bed.
We had our time as collegiate athletes. These cats, it's a whole different world we're dealing with. We're trying to make sense of it, but it's going to be tough.
Yes. Celebrating does get you a flag. No, Trev, I didn't take it personal. I was just saying, I listen, we got in trouble from Pop Warner for purging. Back now, we did it. The Hurricanes was doing it way back, like one of the first seeders. You know, we purged back in like 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
2017, we purged coming down the hill. We were playing West Haven. They made it to the national championship. I was playing against Rick. It went viral. It got like 10,000 views. It went everywhere. Then I got a call from Nationals and got in trouble over it because people complained about it. Back in 2017, people complained.
Like here, I'm going to use that as an example. I saw that when I was coaching in Danbury. I saw when you did that. I said, it feels crazy. And we wasn't even talking then. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have a problem with the masks. I wouldn't have a problem with the masks. What I would have had a problem with if I was playing you is that you let them carry the bats. The bats was too much. You know what I'm saying? That's the wrong message to be sending. It looked like some shit out of the Warriors movie. That's what y'all look like with the bats. Like I wouldn't have had a problem with the mask, the smoke, none of that. But when y'all brought the bats into it, I think that's what people I would have had a problem with. You get what I'm saying? Like me personally, not speaking for nobody else.
This was the day right here. We came down the hill. We purged. We had the flags. We had the mask. We had the orange and green bat. All the kids had the mask. It was like way before anybody was really doing it. And it was crazy. It was so many people out there. And it went viral. And then we got in trouble for it. So we had to kind of stop doing it. Like we didn't really do it much after that. Because we got to a regional championship game. And Pop Warner said, y'all can't chant when y'all walk out of here. Y'all can't play music. You can't hold up a flag. You can't hold up absolutely nothing. Matter of fact, if I hear anybody cheer when they walk out of here to the game, we'll forfeit your game and we'll let the other team go to Florida. Now, the other team went to Florida because they beat us. I kind of think that piped our team down. But I learned my lesson in that moment that our actions, which I did not think justified that, our actions cost us an opportunity to play our best. We had some big-time D1 players on that team. We do the mask, that's dope. We not taunting anybody. Why not the smoke, though? I'm not getting why that's
because first of all, if your team ain't really about the smoke, don't do it because you're making other people raise their game. Like if your team can't out there and gonna win impressively, you're putting the X on your team's back for no reason. You're gonna make the other team raise their game before you even play the game. That's not a good way to start the game.
It's the belts for me. Other than clapping, there shouldn't be a problem with that.
This is the problem with the new age coaches.
So what about highlight videos?
I don't do it. So Trev, you've never seen me do any of that. I don't agree with any of it. I don't like any of it. I think it's corny, especially when you know you were going to beat the team anyway. Because we know there's very few paired up. There's not much parity in youth football anymore. You know when you get your schedule how many games you're going to win, the so-so games, and what you're going to lose if you're realistic about your team. You know more than likely how this is going to turn out. But I don't like the highlights, especially if you know you were going to beat the team. Now, if you want to highlight your team and what they're doing, that's fine. But you shouldn't be trying to humiliate the kids of the other team and the coaching staff or whatever, especially when you know you were going to beat them by 30, 40 points just by showing up. It makes no sense to me. No place for it, boss man. No place for it.
Listen, everything has to be Georgia.
Absolutely, LJ. Y'all keep trying to be funny. I'm going to stand on business with it. Absolutely. There's a way to act. Conduct yourself like a professional. Like that's what we're supposed to be teaching these kids. At least that's what I thought. Teach them how to survive in the real world. You can't act like that in the real world. You can't act like that in the real world.
Back in 2017, I got to say the bat thing was hot. I'm not suggesting y'all do it. But stop with the bat jokes. That was 27. You realize half y'all 6U kids wasn't born yet in 2017, were they? No, it was our whole 6U team wasn't even born when we did that. So y'all got the bat jokes, but it was organic. I swear, we didn't think about it. It just happened. But look, I won't do it today if I was on the team. That's all I'm saying.
Would you do it again?
I would not do it
again.
At this point, no, I don't feel like I have. Not now.
Do you think there's a place? Do you think there's a place for it now? Do you think there's a place for it now? Be honest. It's okay.
Let me say this. I would not stop a Hurricane team from doing it, but I wouldn't do it. As the president of the association, let me be clear.
So you think it's okay to walk down the hill with bats and all that shit? You think that's cool?
I think that if you want to do that, that's on
you.
What
about sledgehammers? So we can have kids come out with sledgehammers?
Somebody just sledgehammered my damn field right in front of me. But I didn't say, did I say anything? Look, did I say anything to them? You was there. Did I say something? I said, no. What did I tell them? You better remember what you did, because I've been in this game long enough to know when you're young and you ain't been in the game long like me and you do that, you are going to get it back in the worst way.
Right. And we know, again, you know what? Somebody just reminded me of this.
Go ahead.
We know that the adults can't handle this type of behavior. We know that the parents in the crowd can't handle when this type of behavior from other adults. What makes you think the kids are going to be able to handle it?
They can't. I never said kids could.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? These kids, when they leave us, we need them to survive in the real world. Well, in the real world, as you and I know, you can't act like that. You can't. There's no place for it in a professional setting. You can't do it. I know cats like to think we're just football coaches, but me and you professionals, we can't go in there on Monday and taunt the whole world. I'm smarter than you. You can all, SOD, whatever, you know what I'm saying, SMD. No, it doesn't work like that. You can't do that. You just can't act like that. There's no place for it. And that ultimately, I think that's what we're supposed to be teaching kids. But all of us have different opinions.
Let me say something, Steve. All right, so the bat thing I wouldn't do anymore. I'm going to be clear. I would not carry a bat, have any kids carrying a bat. Violence in youth sports have been on the rise. That's just statistical data nationwide. Lack of referees are leaving and all of that. So, no, I personally would not have my team walk down the field with a bat. I didn't have my team do it that day. Actually, I did not see the show or the antics until it was done. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not backing off of it. I still think it was hot. If it had to replay out the same way, I would let it replay out the same way. But today, I would not have a team walk down with. I would not have my team walk down with bats, because the stigma that inner city programs have today, we got to start piping down, and it sends the wrong message when violence is on the rise in youth sports today. So it's a different world today than it was in 2017. And I think we're clear that it's a different world than it was in 2017. And so for me, no, absolutely not. I wouldn't do it, because it's a different world today. And I don't think that it sends the same message that it did in 2017, in my personal opinion. Tom, what up, Tom? Yo, we got to connect. I got some stuff for you, yo. Highlights is a must. Win or lose, I'm posting mine.
That's cool if it's celebrating your team and your kids. It's not cool if you're doing it to disrespect the other team and your opponents and their fan base, their administration, and everything else. There's a fine line with that.
Is this an inner city issue? Because I don't see any of those teams allowing these kinds of behaviors. So it's a cultural thing, right? And correct me if I'm wrong out there, because I'm not always right, y'all. I see it as, and when I say culture, I'm not talking a race culture. To me, it's a travel culture thing. You see it in the AYFs, the Pop Warners, the UYFs, the YNCs of the world. You don't see it so much in the CTYFL, the Shorelines. Gil, do y'all see that out in Fairfield County? I don't know. You don't see it in those leagues. However, when you start to talk about should it or shouldn't it be done, Again, I want y'all to look at the people that need games and the people that don't have games and the people that's begging their kids to play against them versus the ones that got games every week that have absolutely no problems. Therein lies what we're talking about. We're speaking from an administrative perspective to say, listen, y'all don't see that you.
No, we're speaking as representatives and the gatekeepers of this space. They got more tenure than a lot of you guys. And we're telling you where we are at. We can't get our kids. Put it this way. Our own people don't want to play each other. Okay? What makes you think?
Some of y'all wonder why some of y'all got 3 games and 5 buys. And you put out there, anybody want smoke with AU or everybody ducking? Everybody's ducking. Nobody care if you call them scary. The presidents told me they don't care what y'all say. They're not going to play the game.
They don't want to pay for the refs. They'll save their time. They'll save their resources.
We can talk about that sponsorship, Ty. LJ, definitely. You see it there too. Tito, you see Darian versus Shelton doing this, or Cheshire Southern Tim doing this?
Again, Ephraim, we're cut from a different cloth. You're cut from the cloth that I'm cut. Like, we're cut from it would not be tolerated there. Matter of fact, if you did do it, I'm pretty sure that would be the last game you coached in those places. I guarantee. If you did anything like that, guarantee you won't be coaching there tomorrow. Guarantee you. You won't be coaching there tomorrow. I bet you even in their youth programs, you pull some shit like that over there, I bet you won't have a coaching job tomorrow.
Larry said, why? Why? He said, why? Yeah.
Because that behavior is not going to be tolerated in those places. It's not acceptable. End of story. You guys want to hear it? No. They're not going for the goofy shit over there. They're not.
LJ, I'm troubled by what your statement. Not a shot at you, but just follow me. You said, look at the demographics of the towns you just named. So you're saying it's a black or a minority thing, what we're talking about. I was saying I don't think it is. I think it's a travel football thing. Is that what you're saying? Because that's interesting. It's not a bad or good. It's a different perspective because I was saying to myself, even the towns that's in a lot of the travel leagues, not all the travel leagues, but that are not minorities. I've seen it, but you're saying that look at the demographics of the team he named is why we don't see it there. It's almost like you saying they can act right and we can't. I could be wrong, brother. Fill me in.
Yo.
Shelton High School doesn't even allow college.
And they shouldn't. And they shouldn't. Keep it business.
Some folks wouldn't last.
You're not trying to last down south. See, that's the problem.
This is the number
problem
one
with our community. This is the problem with us. We ain't down south, cuz. We ain't down south. We're nowhere near down south.
Our culture
is nowhere near
First
that.
Of all, none of y'all
not our reality. That's not our reality.
Down south. Don't say we won't last down south. Y'all won't last down south. Y'all won't last. Parents, y'all won't last down south because you're not going to buy your own helmet every year, your own shoulder pads and all that. You get charged $200. You go to high school and got to pay $500 and you can't take the summer off for vacation or else you off the team. It happened to my cousin down in Georgia. Had to stay all summer and get ready for high school football. Don't say we won't. Some, it ain't no some. 90% of the people won't last down south, but we're not down south. So why are we doing?
We're not doing anything. The people that are doing it, clearly, there's people doing it, and those guys ain't getting games.
LJ, what do you access the resources? What resources do they got access to that make them not do it, that we're lacking, that makes us
here, you guys want to hear it? You want to hear it? I'm going to stop.
Black folks are generally more lit. I don't know about that. I'm going to be in the context of which you're using it.
I'm going to be completely clear. I'm going to just read a statement.
The Junior King 13U need to lock in for West Haven.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's 2 weeks from now, bro. They got a game this week. It's not acceptable in their schools, their homes, their businesses. They are teaching their kids how to act, and it starts with sports. You guys take that how you want.
I'm assuming somebody's writing you that.
Yeah, take that, guys, how you want, but it's absolutely the truth. It's not acceptable in their schools, homes, or their businesses. They are there. with sports.
You can tell by the responses that guys aren't getting it. No, they're getting it, Matt. They just disagree.
Zero
Which is fine.
tolerance. It should be zero tolerance.
That's part of it.
It should be zero tolerance for our kids to act that way, because we already got 2 strikes against us when we're in the job market, when we're trying to come up in life. You got to be double better than everybody else to make it in this world. But instead, we want to teach them how to act like fools and do the goofy shit, and it's going to cost them. So go ahead, keep doing it if you think it's a good idea. It's a terrible idea, but keep doing it. Go ahead. My teams won't. My kids won't. But you guys
I totally agree with you, Tito, Demeter said. Yo, by the way, you don't know this. That's C's mom.
Yeah, I know that's this parents.
Down south parents will tell you your kid trash.
Bro, who cares, bro? Get this dude off, bro. This is some real comment.
I don't have his opinion, Tito. He got his own opinion. He got his own opinion. Fine. The standard is the standard. No one is above it. And it's leadership responsibilities to make.
I agree. I 100 believe. The bar is the bar. The bar is the bar.
The problem is, where's the bar?
Well, I know where
That's
it is.
What we're talking about now.
We're talking
about where should the bar be. I tuned in pretty late. Fill me in on the topic. What's the topic? The topic is the youth football platform a place for kids' self-expression? All the taunting, the craziness, tapping other kids on the head when you catch it, any of that crazy stuff. I think I'm the president of the Tito fan club tonight. Shout out to Kevin. Tito, why you always crying? You got a podcast. Let me say my opinion. You don't
want to hear what I think of your opinion.
But I'm okay with you saying it.
Phil's good with all of it. I'm not. I'm going to just keep it 100. I think you're part of the problem. But go ahead.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion, Ty. All right, Tito. Let's get to the next subject. Again, if the next subject rubs you the wrong way, then you're probably one of the ones that's doing it. And this rolls into what we're saying, y'all. Are y'all ready? Tito, let's talk about teams that's quitting mid-games or people that don't want to show up because they cannot win. Now, let me say something to everybody out there real quick. Imagine these kids being interviewed by a private or prep school and have to explain why they got kicked out the game.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. The Pooh Shiesty mask under their helmet. That, again, the wrong message to be sending our boys that we want to make it in the world. Allowing them to do that is real adult-like behavior.
Korea, what's good, big bro? I told you that I would tune in tonight. I'm late. You have my
what?
Oh, that's I don't know.
Corn. That's some real.
That's somebody trolling. All right, weak leadership, they said. All right, so Tito, quitting mid-game or not showing up because you can't win.
Well, this is a place where we're at too. That's completely has ruined the space. Now it's okay to just pull your team out in the second, third, fourth quarter, whatever, with no repercussions. You're allowed to not show up with no repercussions. There was a time that was not allowed, but people are so thirsty for organizations and teams. This has become the norm. I only know of one place right now where it's not tolerated in our space in New England, where it's absolutely not tolerated on the national track. Everywhere else I'm hearing people just allowed not to show up.
So let me say this. I got a couple things about this. Number one, last week we were talking about, I had put on a statement on why this big, massive league won't work. And everybody thought I was just being negative. I need y'all to understand something out there. That we already said, Tito, if I'm not mistaken, we have already made the statement that you're definitely not going this one big massive league where we all get along and everybody plays. It's never going to work, because if a team won't travel 20 minutes when you're 0-6 to play a team that's 6-0 that's going to posterize you with donuts? What makes you think when you build this massive league and one team is in Connecticut and the other one is 2.5 hours away in Boston, that team's going to drive up there to get plastered all over the internet? They're never going to show up. They're never going to show up to the game. And so what happened is Phil get mad at Tito and I started our own program. That's how we got into the space. Grown men not knowing how to deal with our emotions. That's how we got to where we at. That's why there's so many programs that got like 2 teams or 1 team or 5. It's adults that don't know how to deal with their emotions, so they break off and they start their own clique because they somehow get 30 parents to agree with them to do something stupid, which is jump from a good program to start their own because they got the idea and they know how to do it better. And the truth of the matter is, I love when new people come into the space because they inbox or I'll talk to them and they got all of these bright ideas. Yo, Phil, why y'all not doing this? Or we should be doing this, or we should be doing this. And I don't want to hurt their energy. So most of the times I never say nothing, but I've already tried it. But I think it's important that we allow people to try it again. So I never shoot it down. But the truth of the matter is, people aren't showing up to these games because there's no accountability and leagues are so thin, they're scared to lose programs. So you fight, you get away with it. You miss games or you quit, they don't even hold you accountable to pay for that referee fee or those. People are scared to kick people out of their league because one team might collapse a league because leagues are so thin. That's why we're talking about the stuff that we were talking about before. A lot of you out there don't know that this stuff is going on. You don't know that leagues are so thin that one team pulling out will make 5 or 6 other teams not have a season. And so you cater to them when they don't show up, when they don't do anything, when they decide not to do all this stuff. So when they don't show up or they yo, we done with the game, we out. You got 30 kids like, damn, we want to play football. Kids did nothing wrong. They practiced hard all week and they want to play. If you out there and you quit in mid-game, stop quitting. Stop quitting. I'm sorry, stop quitting.
It's not even stop quitting.
Pop Warner and they start to use the NPR rules, stop quitting. Because you got to stop quitting.
I told you earlier, 23 years. I've never not showed up for a game. Never thought about ducking the game. Years I had to play 13 versus 14U, knowing we were going to get annihilated. We're going to show up because that's what we're supposed to be teaching kids to do. Life ain't always going to be fair. It's not always going to be easy.
Gil, in Central, you're going to pay like $500 or $300 with the referee fees.
Right. And aren't you pulling them out the postseason and cutting the chair and that they lose all their.
And if you don't show up to certain events, you don't get any money to Florida if you go. And your cheerleaders don't get any money from Florida. That's $1,500 a team. If we hit our financial mark, I don't know that, but that everybody has different. We had 2 9U teams not want to play our 9U team because we're asking about our 8U team and if they needed a game, make it make sense. We had 2 9U not want to play our 9U team, but we're asking to play his 8U team. Well,
you're right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I like coordination too.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I think everybody should have the same cleats. If I had the money, everybody would rock the same cleats on my team, socks, arm sleeves, book bag, sweatsuits. Everything should be coordinated. I go down to nationals. I'm gonna tell you something.
Dude, it's not that I don't want to let people wear visors, but anybody knows that when you wear a visor and if there's any kind of weather or moisture,
what happens
with the visor? Now you got a whole team taking helmets off, trying to get visors off. You're giving up plays on the field because you got the right personnel in there. Visors were the worst thing that happened for the space too.
Damon, you're right, Damon, because they don't care about what's happened because they don't see the effects. They don't see the fact that me and let's say Mike Lass from Southern meets every Monday to correct all of these scheduling woes. So they just get a schedule and they play. They don't see emails that go out to Northern Connecticut Pop Warner, to Northeast Connecticut Pop Warner or RISMA going, Do you guys have any openness? And then we fill in those buys by the last minute of our hand. We all have to work together and scratch our brain and boom, boom, make it work. Because when they bake, the cake is baked. Most people never seen the ingredients. And so they don't know. And they go, we should be able to do that. You're an old head. Not knowing you almost didn't have a season because of this stuff. I'm just telling y'all. I'm not being negative. Do it. I'm not one that's gonna tell you not to do it. Feel free to do it. I'm just telling y'all what's going on the back end. That's the part of the game I want to give to y'all, so y'all will know why there is people that feel how they want to feel. How about the teams pulling out mid-season after being on the schedule for months? Again, a problem. They'll be out the league though. Don't come back next year. In my opinion, don't come back next year. Stop building all-star teams and handpicked teams, and this will happen a lot less.
Oh, that's absolutely true. I'm glad he brought that up. Where's Ant from? Sonia, right?
Sonia, yep.
Yep. That's absolutely the truth. Nobody's gonna come with their rec team to show up to play with your all-star team with kids from 12 different towns. It's just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen.
Trevor said visors really only work in college because they got dedicated equipment managers.
True.
Gerald said, Ant, then take away nationals in Florida. I guess what he's trying to say is the reason people up here are trying to build all-star games because they're going to Florida getting their butt kicked by all-star teams. I think that's what he's trying to say. Tito said, take off the visor now. You're not playing. We wear the same gear minus cleats. Only Duke about cleats are no.
Only Duke about cleats or no team colors. Only Duke. I think that's a typo, but
teams pulling out of the regular season games are creating a 5 or 6 games, and that's getting wild.
No, it's bro. Here's the reality. And unfortunately, Ethan, I know your team is not, you guys carry it like professionals, but I think some of your backlash is coming from some of the other teams in your organization.
Crying about a visor is crazy. Not if you're a coach. You ever coached on a rainy day?
He ain't coach on a rainy day with a visor and see what happens then.
You have gotten mad. At least I've gotten mad. Everybody take off the damn visor. I don't want to see a visor for the rest of the season.
No, dude, I've been in games. I've been in playoff games. I remember. Hold on. I'm gonna give you a for instance. In 2006, when I first was a president in Middletown, we were in the CTYFL. We were in a playoff game against East Hartford. Roy and them.
Yep, Roy. Yeah.
Still there. Roy and them. Bro, it was raining. It was the first playoff game in November. That first week in November is always the first round of the playoffs. It was raining. The whole team had visors. I had to give up a whole drive because half the kids couldn't see through the goddamn visors because they was all fogged up. I got my brother and them who's watching the game coming outside of the rope. We got screwdrivers, all types of things, trying to get visors and getting kids out there. Meanwhile, here they go, 3-4 yards down the field, 3-4 yards. I got my own son trying to get the visor off his thing, my nose tackle. And everybody knows my son was a pretty good football player. Can't have him in the game because we're dealing with a visor. Jamal Jackson, another very good football player, couldn't have a game because we're dealing with a visor. It has cost me games in the past. So, therefore, I learned from that point forward, it's very simple. No visors. Because
Demeter actually is saying the opposite. He's saying that if you get rid of building these all-star teams, maybe more teams will come into the fray and decide they would be interested in playing if everybody went back to community football, meaning you play where you live. That's what he was saying. I think, Ant, correct me, am I wrong? New London won 5 regional championships last year and went to Florida and chose to stay home.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But what's the repercussions, Ethan?
They didn't want to play.
There's no repercussions for that?
They were on our schedule to play. I guess we'll take the bye. So, is he talking about right now?
Yeah, he's talking about this weekend. Clearly, somebody backed out in New London, the regional champions. Nah, there got to be more to that story. I don't believe
the league has to do something. That's look, it's rules. Hey, Tito, can I tell him my resolution? I think I got the resolution too.
Right. Bust him in the head.
All of y'all league presidents, I got the resolution on how if you start your one big league, y'all can start it. Start your big league, right? And I think I could resolve this issue because I'm above 140, so my mind is thinking. I'm about to help y'all out. The first thing in the rule is anyone who quits early or pull out of a game when y'all come up with your new league, put this in your bylaws. So make sure your bylaw committee watch this. You're fined $700. Now listen to me. That ain't it. Let me keep going.
That's supposed to be the bottom line. You're supposed to cover the refs and the EMT for that game. If you back out of a game, that's what used to be the rule.
Well, we're going to bump it up to 700. Right?
That used to be
Here's the other thing we're going to do. No, you cannot pay anytime other than the Thursday before your next game or you're snatched off the schedule. If you allow Saturday to pass and you cannot pay your fee, the team you're supposed to play that week, your whole program is out, by the way, not just one team. Those teams will get a bye, and you will be taken off the rest of the season schedule. Now, here's the other thing about that, Tito. Won't nobody care if you're going to leave because you have built the Super League. There's really nowhere for you to go when everybody decided to start this massive league and agree to work together and do right by the kids, because that's what they were talking about a week ago, I think, under Trev's post. And so when you have this league now and the Hartford Hurricanes pull out and the Hartford Hurricanes say, I'm leaving. I'm going to go to where? Can't go to Northern, hit D2. Can't go to Shoreline. Won't get into Fairfield County. Can't get into the CTYFL. There's no AYF Pop Warner. There's no AYF Connecticut. There's one big massive league under one, either AYF or Pop Warner, hypothetically. There's nowhere to go. So you know what you're going to do? You're going to abide by rules that's set forth. Because you can't break off a piece and put them in this league that got 3 teams and then post every week, yo, anybody got an 8U team looking for smoke? When everybody's in one league. I think I got the remedy. You charge $700 and they got to pay that bill by Thursday. People would play the whole game and they're not going to back out, because instead of making a football decision, you're now making a business decision. And we love to say football is nonprofit businesses. Start making them make business decisions and stop letting them make football decisions. I think it'll go away. Let's see. The problem is that adults who want to mimic AAU on gridiron, it ain't the same. If we keep allowing all-star teams to play on fall leagues with the kids from a regional footprint, that's where it's all going to go. I was just giving my opinion on why I think a lot of the teams can't find games. Maybe when they are creating the schedule, put the best teams against each other instead of watering it down with teams with the losing parts. So the problem with that is we're all comprised in Connecticut, at least, of small town leagues, right? So if a team in Northern stack their teams, you can't just say, okay, now you guys aren't playing in Northern, go play in Southern. Because they're in your playoff bracket, they're in your regional bracket, they're in all of that. Same thing with Central. I don't get to stack my program top to bottom with the best 250 kids in the state of Connecticut. Say we're too good, let's go play over there. What's the purpose of youth football? You want to answer that, Tito?
I believe it's to develop young men using football as a vehicle to teach them life skills. But I've said this for years. It's my same spiel for years. I believe that is what it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be just young men how to work in a team environment where there's rules, parameters, and a code of conduct. There's going to be a certain way you're going to carry yourself when you play for the teams I coach. And that's just what it's going to be. Now, when you're off the clock, I got no control of that. But I know how you're going to act during these 2 hours at practice. And I know how you're going to act during these 4 hours on game day. Guarantee you that. You're going to act a certain way.
Rose, what up? Does Northern give crossover games?
They don't. Why would they?
They do. They do. Let me correct it. They just played a team out of Central at 13U. So they shout out to Northern. I want to keep the gate open. They do. And you didn't notice. I didn't tell you, but they did. They played one of our 13U teams last week, and it was I don't even know the score to that game. I gotta find out. LJ used to not anymore, not to. All right, so they did. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. So y'all, we reached out to them for games. They didn't really have any when they did their schedule, but something must have opened up, and they did reach out to us and said, we have a team open. Would you like to play? And they played. So we were thankful for that game. I think the game went well. It might be this weekend. It might be this weekend. They ain't played yet. These all-star teams don't align with that mission, Tito, he said, to develop.
That's
I think that's the one, Tito. We're supposed to develop the kids.
Yes.
All right. Huh?
We not getting into that. We know who we play on Saturday. Y'all know who we play on Saturday. It's like, it don't matter. We'll be there. That's all you need to know.
Let's get into it. Top 10 plays of the week. Let's keep moving. Hey, let me say something. This week, I did something different. This week, I decided one of the plays I don't have the number one play, Tito. It's sad. I can't find it.
You talking about, don't tell me.
Yeah, wait. Don't say it. I can't find it. I can't find it.
Tell me.
Let me try to get it.
That's the one thing I asked you to do. I never get involved in these things.
Hold on. Let me see if I got it.
One thing I asked you to do.
Oh, I got it, Tito.
All right, well, show
I got the number one play, y'all. I'm loading it up right now. Hold on.
Go to them last.
I got the number one play.
Let's not take the shine for the honorable mentions and the rest of the plays of the week.
Right. So listen, we decided to do honorable mention this week. So when I get the number one, I'm going to pause it. Then I'm going to call it up because it's not in the video. I just found it. Y'all ready? Let's get going. Top 10 plays of the week. These are all honorable mention right here. We haven't got there yet.
Let's go, Purple. Let's go, Adrio. Let's go, Bucks.
Who's this? What's the name? What are we looking for?
This is Lynn. 8U. This is the pass. Look at the young man, Tito. At 8U, watch this. Cock it. That's about a 25-yard throw for that young man. Hats off to him. This is Norwich. Norwich look like loaded right. I formation, Tito. Toss right. Look at the lead block, Tito. He rode the big boy creamed him in the end zone. All right, here we go. We got the toss right. There you go. Look. It's he. Look at the thing. Cut. Go all the way. I'm just gonna say a lot of the honorable mention plays are nice. Look, I think that's Luca. He drops back. New Haven 11U. Bingo. He's going down the field. He could look like he might get walked down. Them young men look tall. Did he score? I think he did. All right, let's get the top 10. Back. All right, at number 10, we got Darren Kelsley. Did I say that? Sorry, young man. Darren Kelsley. Young man running the ball, Tito. I want you to see the move that he put on. He drops back. He runs left. Watch the move, Tito. Watch the move. He running. Watch this move, Tito. I like it. Look. Amazing move. Boom. Oops.
Oh.
Springfield defense, Tito, with the INT interception. Look at the defensive line. Collapsed completely. Intercept.
Oh, wow.
I got Tito. You got. I'm sorry. You got to listen to the words. My bad. I messed that up. Let's get back. I want you to. I'm gonna be quiet so y'all can listen to the guy. Y'all listen to him. We'll take a pick six instead. Springfield defense. All right, let's go to Bryce Luna, Tito. 10U. I think this young man is out of East Haven. I think he's East Haven. Watch it. He turns on the burner jets. Boom. He gets it. Oh, he gave them the left step. Then he breaks right. Here we go. Look at the coach, Tito. Look at the coach right here. Look. Say that, coach. Run, coach.
Yo, what was that? A corner? Go back. Let me see that play. I think that was what we call Joker. Let me see that play.
It's the fake wing. He
Yeah,
cut back.
yeah, the cut, counter cut. That's counter cut to the fullback.
The coach put on the Jets. Look, go, go, go. He started running fast to help the young man run faster. Look at all the kids running down the sideline. Yes, that is celebration. That is not taunting.
That's not taunting. That's celebrating their team. I don't have a problem with that.
Will Matos, 10U, Waterbury kickoff team. Watch this, Tito. This is an impressive play. He catches it. I'm going to be honest. I thought this young man was tackled. Watch this. Here you go. He got caught. Got caught.
Oh,
wow. Uh-oh. He's still going. He's still going. He's still going. That was a hell of a run. Shout out to that young man. That was a hell of a run. Sage, New Haven 12U, 65-yard touchdown at number 6. It's a little grainy, but they go to toss. Watch this. He running with aggression. He running with aggression. Get off me. Look at it. Look at the blocking. Did you see the block? Let's go back.
The block should have been the play. I know they put Sage as the thing, but who was that?
Dog, he creaming everybody.
Look,
that was in the back.
Mowed him down. Then he was looking for work on the next back.
But he turned around. He didn't want to smoke. One block there. Then he blocks here.
That kid turned his back. That's not.
They go block there. Though this is Sage was running with aggression on that play. Cam Davis, New Haven 11U, running back on this play. Watch him. He breaks in. Then he cuts left, stiff arm. There you go. There you go. Is he going to outrun him? I thought I saw a flag come down. Oh, he had. Give him the hezzy. Give him the hezzy. Give him the hezzy. Congratulations, Cam. That was an impressive run. Aiden Torres, Tito, watch this catch. 65-yard interception. Look. Oh, he got it. He got it.
Who's this? Springfield? Who's this?
This is Ansonia.
Ansonia, okay.
Oh,
took it to the crib. Crib call.
Crib
call.
Shout out to big man that tried to catch him right here. He turned on the Jets at the end. Shout out to him.
And we had 2 of those plays last week too. That was kind of huge.
Hey, King, Hartford Hurricane 6U. We gotta watch this young man. He has made every highlight, and it has not been because I'm doing it. Watch this, Tito. He run right. Let's go left. Let's go left, King. Up. Let's go further. Let's go further. Up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Look at him. Look how he held the football. He switched it, Tito. Now let's go back right. Stiff arm. Let's go back right. Let's go back right. Let's go back right, Tito. Let's go back right. He could go. He probably ran 200 yards on that play. Sideline to sideline is almost 50 yards, is a little over 50 yards each. And then get tackled at the end.
A nice run. Hey,
Sky from Manchester. Sky, this is an impressive play. 11U. Watch this interception. This is impressive stuff. He's at that left corner over there. Look. Hitch.
Oh.
Dive and catch. And your number one play is Chalen of the Hartford Hurricanes 10U punt return. But I don't have it queued up. Stop. Let's get it queued up, Tito.
Don't do my boy like that, man. We got to put it up.
I just found the play, okay? I just found the play, so we're going to queue it up. Everybody give me a second. I need y'all to see this. This was impressive because there's college kids that can't even catch a punt like this. So I need time to just get the punt done. Give me time.
The one thing I've asked this dude, I don't get involved with this thing ever. This is the one recommendation I had. And we can't get the clip up.
I'm sorry. I got it. It's here. I'm downloading it. It's been downloaded. And all right, here we go. All right. So, number one play of the week is a punt return. This young man, he's family. So, I'm going to just say it now before y'all get word that, All right, y'all ready? Let's watch it. This is him back here, Tito. Watch this catch on the run. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the cutback. Look at this. Now watch he play off the block.
Who that? Rah-Rah. That's Rah-Rah leading the way. Good block, Rah-Rah.
I want y'all to see the catch, though. See the ball here? Hold on. Are we going to get it? The ball's here, y'all.
That's a great punt, too, by the way,
for
a youth game.
What is
a
that?
10U game, that's a great
15,
punt.
20, a 25-yard punt in the air. This young man is running left. and he catches it with all hands, no body. Look. In the air. In the air. In the air.
Look at the block downfield by Ra-Ra. Look at the block downfield by Ra-Ra.
Impressive stuff by all the young men, everybody that submitted. I thank you for submitting the stuff. It was definitely good. It's all fire. I appreciate. Wait, Shamir, you sent me videos? Hold on, I might have liked it. I didn't see the video.
Yo, you got to get to the rankings. We ain't do the rankings last week. People be waiting for the rankings. We got to get to the rankings.
Yo, dog, I haven't. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I haven't done the rankings. I'm gonna make them up right now, though. I am.
I'll help him. I'm gonna help him because I know the landscape. I'm a little more plugged in regionally. I'm gonna help him.
Oh no! I gotta show y'all this. So everybody know. Last clip. Everybody know, and this could have made the top 10 that I remember. I apologize, Shamir. Everybody knows Zay as the running back, Tito. I told Shamir that boy can play wide receiver. Now, we saw it with the Route 8 boys in the catch. Watch this, Tito.
No, there was a delay. There was a delay, at least on mine.
That's all hands.
I didn't see
that.
It.
Hey, look. Let's watch this slow. I want y'all to watch this play slow. You
that's
see this?
That's a run play, though.
No, right. But I want you to watch this here. Look at this.
Oh, yeah. Good block. Good block.
You see the jump? Can you even jump in football anymore?
Yeah.
Referees out there, can you jump in football?
Yeah, you got hurdle them.
Can you jump in football? Hey, congratulations to all the young men. They did a wonderful job, said Demeter. Yes, they did. Yes, it was fire. I appreciate it. Listen, I get a lot of videos. I know I didn't play a lot of y'all videos. I apologize. I think we played 14 videos, but I try to hey Brandon, thanks, brother. I appreciate it. We try to do it. All right, let's do the rankings. Y'all ready to do some rankings? Let's do the rankings, Tito. Let's do the rankings. All right, before we do the rankings, I just want to say we don't have everybody's information, so a lot of this is guessing.
No, but I got.
All right, Division 113U, Pop Warner. Let's do it. At number 3. At number 4, Tito, we are going with the New Haven Stillers. Sorry, check that. The Hartford Hurricanes, Tito. The Hartford Hurricanes is your number 4 team in New England in football. At number 3, Tito, we are going with the New Haven Stillers. New Haven plays Hartford Hurricanes this week. It's a big game of the week. It might swap.
Who New Haven just knocked off? New Haven not. Oh, okay.
They played the New Britain Junior Canes. That game ended, but they were winning.
They were
the
winning
game got because of the BS. So, boom.
I know I need to post
right, which I believe just to make a point, the game ended because of taunting. That's how the whole skirmish started. There was taunting involved. Yeah, I'm almost positive there was taunting involved, and that's what they were accusing the brother of. That was trying to tell his kid to stop taunting, and that's where it went left. It was miss.
Again, there you have it. It causes problems. Yeah. At number 2, the number 2 team in New England at Division 1 is the Malden Cyclones. They have climbed back up. They lost early, but so did Hartford. Now, I think New Haven's undefeated, but the only reason I got Malden above them is Malden was in the regionals last year, and I believe
they beat Lawrence.
Who?
Malden.
Malden lost one game early to it wasn't Lawrence, some other team, I think.
But I'm saying I think Lawrence is undefeated in that division.
Yeah, they're saying Lawrence undefeated. I'm not a believer yet. They got to make me believe.
Oh, okay.
That's all. I watched the opponents. I'm not a believer. But shout out to Lawrence, because Lawrence and the New Britain Junior Canes is honorable mention under 4.
5 to 6. 5 to 6.
They can stay under the radar for now. But I'm gonna give Malden. I think Malden gonna get better and get back to what it is. And we obviously know the number 1, probably overall 13U in New England, but definitely the number 1 Division 1 team in New England is the Bloomfield Junior Warhawks. They won all of the big games that they played so far this year. They've been tough. They've been gritty. They've been grinding. But Martin lost to Bill Ricker. There you go.
Nick, is Lawrence undefeated? That's where I was gonna go check.
Lawrence is not undefeated. They lost to Malden 16-0.
I got you. All right. So
all right, Division 2, 13U. Let's go. West Haven Seahawks. I think that goes without saying. They're the number 1 team in New England. They took a loss to a Bloomfield team, but I think everybody this season going forward is going to lose to Bloomfield. I think they'll go to undefeated. And so I'm going with West Haven. At number 2, I'm going to go with Drakeit. What is it?
Drakeit.
I don't know. Drakeit. Shout out to Drakeit. Drakeit is the number 2 team in New England, and I'm going to go with Dayton Rehoboth as my number 3 team. I had Roxbury Titans in this, but my boy Laser got knocked off last week. 12U, Division 1. Don't matter how many games the Hartford Hurricanes went down in a close game to Manchester. Hartford Hurricanes will be your number 1 team in New England. I'm keeping them there because I believe they're still better than the other 2 Division 1 teams that I have on the list.
They beat New Haven this week? Don't they play New Haven this week?
So New Haven, you are number 2. And New Haven beat New Britain Junior Canes, which was a good game. And I tell you, that is going to be a great state championship game. If you get the opportunity to go watch New Britain and New Haven, because they will play in the States, that's going to be a good game out in November. You'll be able to watch it. At number 3, your New Britain Junior Canes. I'm going to keep you in that spot. I think you'll be good there. At Division 2, the number 1 team in D2, I don't think it's close, is your Manchester Redhawks. I don't think it's close. But Manchester is the number 1 D2 team. They beat your Hartford Hurricanes, which is the number 1 Division 1 team. But they got a big game this week, Tito. They play New Haven. That'll be a great game. So
I was shocked how tight their game with Waterbury was last week, to be honest with you.
I will say this, Waterbury we played them week 1. Obviously, all of their teams are getting better. So Waterbury has played better. They beat Windsor, which was a shocker to me. So Waterbury's getting better. And I heard they was on a 1-yard line, down 7, and didn't get in. Manchester played good D. Milford, you're not flying under the radar, Milford. I'm gonna tell you what. Everybody keep telling me Milford is good. Everybody keep telling me that Milford has a good team. Shout out to Milford Pop Warner. I hear that you guys good. I'm going to keep you there. And my number 3 team, Tito, and I keep saying this, if they got the size to be deadly when they get cold, I'm going to go with the Windsor Warriors 095. That's what I'm going with. I'm going with Windsor. I don't really know what's going on over there in Risma because I don't hear much. But Edgewood is over there and some other guys over there. I need you guys to tell me what's going on over there, if you don't mind. All right, 11U, Division 1. Your 4th seed is the Hartford Hurricanes, Tito. Dropped a couple games. They bounced back last week against Windsor, but I don't think that was too worthy of opponent. I think next week they'll be they got a bye this week. Next week we'll be seeing what happened. I'm going with the New Britain Junior Canes at 3, and I say that because New Haven and Danbury, I think they went in the 4th quarter around 6-zip or 12-6. It was a close game. So Danbury played New Haven very close, and that might be a good championship game too. Then I'm going with Danbury at 2, and obviously the team that's way out in front that nobody have seemed to have been able to figure out and beat is your New Haven Steelers. Tito, at number 3, I'm going with, so here's the thing. Somebody got to fill me in on what's going on in Northern. I don't know. I'm assuming Oxford or Ansonia would be at 3. I don't really know what's going on.
We're talking about what, 11U?
11U. I am going to go with Manchester in the middle at 2 because Nate, who did y'all just play this last weekend that y'all played the close game with? Anyway, I was going to go with Manchester at 2. And then Ansonia at 1. If it's the Ansonia team I'm thinking about, I don't know if that's the case. All right, Division 1, 10U. Number 1 team in the region. I don't think it's. I think it's obvious. It's going to be the Waterbury Patriots. They have been impressive every game that they've played. They've won every game convincingly. And I think the closest team that played Waterbury was the Hartford Hurricanes. So I'm going to go with Waterbury at number 1. At number 2, I'm going to go with the Hartford Hurricanes. I think the Hartford Hurricanes is getting better. They're now 3-1 after starting off 0-1. And I've had the luxury of seeing the team up close and personal, so I see them getting better every week. And I think that by the end of the season, they'll be a worthy opponent for anybody in New England. If I had to choose a third one, I'm going to go with Danbury. Danbury.
No, you got to go choose your Canes.
Sorry. No, let me back up. Rodney Myers is second and the Hartford Hurricanes is third. Rodney Myers is still undefeated, right? Yeah. I'm sorry. So let me correct that. Waterbury, New Britain Junior Canes, Hartford Hurricanes, and the Danbury Trojans. I'm sorry. I was looking at a different level. That's your Division 1. Division 1, 10U. Rodney Myers, you almost slipped. You tried to be slick. You're not getting away that easy. Division 2. It's tough, Tito. It starts to get tough when we get down to D2. 10
well, I got a sleeper. Springfield Cowboys. So
Springfield only lost to Waterbury. So I think Springfield is in the mix. I think we could.
Manchester's in the mix in D2 there.
Yeah, but Manchester I believe, took a brutal loss to Waterbury.
Yeah, no, but they got to be. What I'm saying is they got to be in the top 4.
Manchester, look, I don't know how we can rank these, but let's put them in ranking. Here's the ranking. I'm going to go with Springfield first, West Haven second, Manchester Redhawks third. That's what I'm going to go with. Springfield, West Haven, Manchester Redhawks.
West Haven's what, 2-2?
So is Manchester.
And Springfield is 3-1.
Yep.
And then who else? Hold on. What's Hamden looking like over there in D2?
I don't think they have much over there.
No.
I don't think they got much. The problem is we don't know what's going on in Risma.
What about Naugatuck? What's Naugatuck look like?
They got odd only. The odd only. It's the Risma teams that's flying below the radar. Because
if Edgewood's over there, you gotta assume Edgewood. If Edgewood,
but we don't know. That's my point.
I can tell you Edgewood ain't gonna be, they should be playing D1.
But all right, so that's your 10U D2. Let's throw Edgewood in the mix somewhere. Y'all find out some information from Risma for us, please. I need a Risma contact. I don't have a Risma contact.
We used to. Wow, that's true.
They say Hamden don't have a 10U, so there you go. All right.
Well, nobody's watching from Rhodey over here. We got no Rhodey cats in our forum. Nobody could tell us what's going on at Risma. That's crazy.
No, Risma. Scott said he got me. Inbox me, Scott. Keep me informed on what's going on. We don't know the schedules or nothing over there.
Ask him if Edgewood's worthy of a top 4 ranking.
Is Edgewood over there at any of the levels?
East Bay. What about the East Bay Warriors?
East Bay, or even what are the other team name? I don't know. There's another team over there that's usually pretty good. At 9UT though, what I did last week or 2 weeks ago, and I'm gonna remain. I just kind of lump them all in and talk about it. Definitely 10U Edgewood is undefeated. So maybe Edgewood is up there. So maybe Edgewood is number 1. Springfield's number 2. West Haven's number 3. Manchester number 4.
Told you.
There you go.
I could have predicted that. That.
So at 9UT though, I had Stratford as the number 1 team in New England. They were the only defending regional champions because New Britain had left. West Elmwood was gone, and then Stratford was there, who had played West Elmwood. And so Stratford took an L. No, Stratford took an L to the Hartford Hurricanes. So that moves Lawrence Hurricanes up to number 1. The Hartford Hurricanes would be number 2. I would still keep Stratford as number 3 because they are a worthy opponent. And I do believe Stratford is going to win the Division 2 9U regional championship if they can get together and hold that thing together because they're really good. After that, I think I don't really know about 9U. I haven't seen Hamden yet. I don't think Milford would be a worthy opponent to Stratford. The New Haven, New Britain thing, that was a close game. We have New Haven this week. We'll see how we do against them. But I think if we're talking about 9U, we got to talk about Lawrence, Hartford, Stratford. There was a team that played Lawrence 9U really tight early in the year. I can't remember the name, but there was a team that played them really tight early in the year. And I think that they're a worthy opponent of Lawrence, and Lawrence might have to work out for them. But overall, Tito, I think that is your that's your rankings, and I think that's where we at right now, mid-season. We'll see where it go, Tito, when it comes to the second half of the season. I predict, since this year has been going crazy, there will be a lot of shockers. Just my opinion. What say you?
I think it's already been an interesting season. There's been some games that there's been quite a few upsets.
A lot of upsets.
Yeah, quite a few upsets.
A lot, and the crazy part is there's been traditional power.
I mean, I think the upset, like for instance, just to give a little bit of shine. I mean, Mattapan beating Worcester at 14U. That's an upset. I mean, that's an upset.
That's an upset. I seen Beefy post congratulations to West Elmwood. They beat them at like 3 different levels.
Yeah.
To me, that was an upset because just a year ago, it was the opposite because I had something to do with the schedule. So it's been some shockingly, changing of the guards on everywhere. I'll tell y'all this to talk about the Hurricanes. I think for the first time in all of my rankings, there's not a Hurricane team I can rank overall at number 1 on any level in Pop Warner. And that's with losing some of the big boys like a Dorchester and a Mount Hope and those teams out of Pop Warner. Still, the Hurricanes, as I look at the divisions, because I would have kept our 12U there, but they lost to Manchester, so I'm not going to argue with people. They won't be number 1. Besides our 6U team, our 6U would be number 1 in the region. I don't think anybody would beat our 6U. So I guess that statement is wrong. I think that I don't really rank 6Us, but my ranking's up to 9U. I don't think that any Hartford team is number 1. Tito, I got some information out of RISMA. Let me tell y'all what's going on over there for everybody that want to know. At 10U, Edgewood is 4-0, and Dayton Rehoboth is undefeated. For y'all out there. So we may have to keep DR up there. At 12U, Division 2, Dayton Rehoboth is undefeated, and Seekonk is undefeated. Wow. And at 14U, Barrington is undefeated, and Dayton Rehoboth is undefeated. If y'all want to know what's going on at 8U, Dartmouth and Edgewood are both undefeated. So if I did the 10U rankings, that would change it all. I would knock Manchester out. I'd put DR, Edgewood, West Haven.
And Seacart.
Nope, at 10U.
Oh.
It would be DR, Edgewood, Springfield, and West Haven. I take Manchester out. And if I had to do 12U Division 2 over, I would keep Manchester there. I would put Milford in there. I would keep DR in there and Seekonk. Those would be my 4. So that's what I would I think that's what I'm gonna update the rankings and try to follow from there. If we can keep getting more information out of RISMA. No, there's no D1 teams, Nate, from Rhode Island. RISMA is like Northern, they're 100% Division 2 league. All right, Tito, on you. Bring us home.
No, we good, player. I mean, you guys obviously know that you got the top 10 New England. Justin does a great job with the AYF rankings. Maybe next week, Philip put them up. That way you guys can see that, but we don't have much intel out of there neither. So that's all I got, brother. We went way longer than expected.
Yo, listen up. I think we have to understand something, man. That in the world today, trust is a very dangerous thing to play with. I'm just going to say, I'm going to say it again. Y'all take it how y'all want. Trust is a very dangerous thing to play with. A lot of people talk about loyalty. I want to be around people that's honorable. To me, that word is more powerful than loyalty, but trust is a very dangerous thing to play with. And with that being said, it's your boy PH the Prez, Mr. Above 140, Mr. Black Excellence.
It's your boy Coach Career the General. Peace to the guys. Next
You can
week.
buy this shirt, y'all. You can buy a shirt that say Black Excellence. Peace.